Hey, Sagittarius! Welcome to my channel. I'm your Cosmic Auntie, the interstellar storyteller, and this is going to be your monthly reading. I am recording this for November, but it could find you at any time and be relevant to you at any time. Tarot works in its own kind of mysterious, lovely way, so whenever this video finds you, I hope you're as well as you can be, and yeah, I'm happy you're here. Please feel free to stay if you'd like to, if you feel called to. I love spending time with you, Sagittarius. I'm excited to get into this energetic chat. So let's just jump on in and begin. I'm going to start with introducing my tools because that's so important. My tools prompt these entire conversations. The cards are just this powerful source of information. So this is the tarot deck that I'm going to be using for this month. It is the first tarot deck that I ever chose for myself, and it is the deck that I initially learned on many moons ago. And I'm happy to be sharing it with you. I was really excited when it came forward to wanting to work with the November energies. And then I'm going to be using the Lightworker Oracle. And then for something a little bit different this month, I'm going to use a deck that I don't usually use. It's called the Path of the Soul Destiny cards, and they're all fractal images. And so at the end, I'm going to invite you to pay attention to what you sense, what you feel, what comes forward for you when looking at these images. And if you feel comfortable, please leave a comment below to let me know what has come up for you in regards to these images. Okay, I love hearing from you, and I'm excited to see yeah, for one, what card comes out, and for two, what you find as insights in regards to this image. So let's jump in, Sagittarius. The image that I got for you was a kind of a part two to a visual that I received, I think, a couple months ago. And the reading was titled 3, 2, 1 Blast Off, and that was a visual of a rocket igniting and that big fiery explosion, and it's just about to launch. And so this visual that I received for this month was actually, I was looking up into this blue sky, and the rocket was up in the air, way high up, ready to, you know, just get into space. And it just feels like there's momentum here. There's this ignition, there's this this momentum and this launch. And the fire energy in general is really been, excuse me, yeah, kind of blasting off into, you know, these new realms. I sense that there's a lot of awakenings and a lot of yeah, like there's just a lot of breakthroughs in the fire energy. So that is very much a feeling that I'm sensing with you, Sagittarius, is there's these breakthroughs, these ignitions, and this, yeah, and this trajectory of expansion. So let's see what's coming up for Sagittarius. Sagittarius, what can we learn about? How can we assist Sagittarius energy? So the 10 of Cups, emotional, the first thing I heard is emotional safety, emotional happiness, a sense of connection to those around you, a lot of love, a lot of support. You could, you know, this could be in so many realms, your family, your friends, your community, and all of the above. 10 of Cups is a sense of, yeah, happiness and bliss and love and support. So major supportive energy. Then we've got the Knight of Swords, the 3 of Cups, and the 5 of Wands. Yeah, so Sagittarius, there may be some powerful insights in regards to, who you find most emotional support with the people that you find yourself, like who you're finding yourself around, and having a lot of insights in regards to how they make you feel, and perhaps even making changes, maybe even speaking up for your needs a bit more, and that is assisted in receiving more emotional safety, receiving more emotional support, and also being valued for the emotional support that you share with the people that you love, that are around you. So the Three of Cups is all about community, groups, dynamics, and the emotional sensations that are experienced in those dynamics. So the Knight of Swords is very a fast moving energy. This is taking action, and towards the insights and the ideas and the truth that you are discovering in regards to what you're needing as emotional safety, as emotional security in the groups, in the dynamics that you find yourself in. So I sense that there's a lot that you may be speaking up for your own needs, for maybe even laying some boundaries, speaking your truth, and really kind of almost watching your community and your dynamics shift around that expression. And I sense that it's in a good way, because with the Ten of Cups, it is about emotional understanding. The Five of Wands is a card that brings the energy of kind of like grappling and a bit of conflict, a notion of competition as well. So things that may have shaken up this emotional foundation, that is assisted in being able to articulate your needs, articulate your truth, and even just being more confident in expressing yourself and expressing your needs when it comes to the emotional dynamics that you find yourself experiencing. What else is coming up for Sagittarius? Oh my goodness. Yeah, so Ace of Swords, that is going to be going right underneath the Knight of Swords. So there is a truth, there is a clarity here, Sagittarius. And again, it was a beautiful blue sky, and the rocket was way high up, and so there has been ignition, there has been launch, there has been momentum into this expansion. So there's been an expansion of truth, of clarity, and access of your voice. Maybe there's been new ideas that you're taking action on, right? The Knight of Swords is action oriented. All the knights are action oriented cards, and the Ace of Swords is our each and every one of our Excaliburs. Only we can pull out our Excalibur of truth, right? When we're going to the Arthur story, pulling the sword from the stone, we are responsible. We're the only ones who can do that. We're the only ones that can explore our truth. Yes, we can take in information. Yes, we can recalibrate truth based on the information received, and also it's when we can access that truth and we have that access to the Excalibur, we also can wield that truth and wield that mental power. So yeah, interesting. I sense maybe some of you are running with an idea that is very meaningful for you, and taking it to your loved ones to share with them, the ones that you trust, the ones that you feel comfortable around, to share with them this idea, this truth, this expression, this insight, this revelation, whatever it may be. And then showing up and showing what you're made of, right? This Five of Wands is that ignition, that 3, 2, 1 blast off. And yeah, having that momentum propel the rocket into space. What else is coming up? So the Seven of Wands, more fire energy. This is your energy. Seven of Wands is about stamina, fortitude, holding your own in your life, and holding your own with your truth, holding your boundaries, you know, and feeling that room to expand because of the boundaries that you know have set in regards to the, you know, the communities, the family dynamics, the friend dynamics that are in your life. And then setting a boundary is one thing, right? And then holding it is a whole other thing. Holding it is where the challenge is sometimes, right? And with the Seven of Wands, I really sense you holding that boundary in order to make the space for this expansion, for these, you know, new ideas, these perspectives, these truths that you're articulating and bringing about, and incorporating them into your, you know, into your day, into your life. And I feel like, yeah, like I just get the sense that some of you are speaking up more in your dynamics, and that is beautiful and powerful. And with the Ten of Cups here, I feel a very solid emotional foundation. And with the Knight of Swords kind of sweeping towards the Three, it's addressing the dynamics in which you find yourself and speaking up for your needs in those dynamics. Now, there could be challenges that arise by doing that, because, right, when we start speaking up for our needs and setting healthy boundaries for ourselves, that can shift the way that, you know, you interact with certain, you know, people, places, and things. And if for those who are used to maybe, you know, crossing boundaries, or, you know, taking a lot, and, you know, you give a lot and are shifting, you know, your the way that you interact with these people, like, this is where the Five of Wands can come up and kind of create a bit of friction. But again, it's coming back to this Ace of Swords, like this truth, this need, this focus. There's just this real, yeah, like trajectory. There's this vision that I sense in the energy. And with this vision, there's an understanding of needing this space to explore that. And that has prompted healthy boundaries to be put in place, and holding those healthy boundaries. The Seven of Wands is right under the Three of Cups. So some of you may not be pouring as much, and it doesn't mean that you're any less generous. It just means that there's, you know, you're reallocating, you know, the energy that you have to, yes, show up in the places that, you know, you love, with the people that you love, doing the things that you love with them, but also, you know, holding that boundary so that there's this space to explore your truth, your ideas, your perspectives, and find your voice and utilize your voice. So what else can we do? Can we do a clarifier for the Three of Cups, please? So the Eight of Pentacles. So there's a sense of kind of skill building. These could be places in which, you know, you may work. This may be a work environment. This could be people that, you know, share like interests with you, that are, you know, you're working on things together, and this is very important. But there's also this notion of like maybe needing your own space to recharge, to reflect, to express, to you know, to breathe, and that's okay. So what's up with this Ace of Swords? Can we get a clarifier for the Ace of Swords? And I just noticed this too, like this Ace of Swords kind of reminds me of watching the rocket, the kind of blast off through the clouds, through the ethers, and get out into space. There's an expansion, there's an insight, there's like this sense of kind of enlightenment here, like being an expanding awareness, connection with life, connection with truth, connection with your voice, really putting action towards the ideas that you have, and this may be feeding into this community card, and maybe feeding into this like sense of mastery and the sense of building with your communities, with your families, with your work, or whatever it is that you find yourself, however this is resonating with you. But even then, we need boundaries within that, and I really sense that with the 7 of Wands here. Okay, clarifier with the Ace for Sagittarius. Okay. All right, let's get into this. So the first one that came out is the 5 of Swords. So this is a card of a card of conflict. The 5s are about change. They can bring a bit of a chaotic energy, conflict energy. This is one of the cards of battle, of like fights, of conflict. The 3 of Swords is painful energy, things that have hurt, things that have caused you, sadness or any kind of harm. And then we have the 9 of Wands and the Page of Swords. So there's this like notion of truth in regards to things that have been challenging, and within your family dynamics, with your friends, with your this is very much where you're finding experiencing emotional fulfillment and emotional support, but also communities in which you find yourself in, your group dynamics. This is very much like the emotional dynamics in which you are experiencing, and the emotional dynamics and the emotional experiences that you are having in regards to your friends, family, group, community. And like the 10 of Cups, I feel like, is very much the foundation. So I sense that there are people that you feel emotionally safe with, that there is like a sense of family, there is a sense of close friendship, and there's a close of emotional stability. But that's like almost providing a safe space to kind of bring your attention to the the dynamics that need work, the dynamics that are even challenging in a way, that take great effort. And so I sense that these could be people that you share a like-minded nature with and work towards a like-minded goal with. So some of you, this may be very much work-related, but there's this need of like, this is a desire to put energy and effort to working on the group dynamics, and through working on those group dynamics, there's an awareness of your truth, your voice, and how important you are, and your needs and your boundaries in these spaces. So this Ace of Swords could really be indicative of the truth that you're accessing in regards to how these conflicts affected you, impacted you, and the pain that has been felt, and the pain that has lingered in regards to that impact, in regards to that conflict, and how much effort has been put into these spaces, and to put effort into these relationships and effort into this like conflict, and the Page of Swords is this curiosity. There's this notion of trying to figure things out, trying to really this is a powerful mind here. I really sense that there's this access of your cerebral energy and how powerful your mind is, and really taking ownership of your truth, your memories of that situation, the impact that it has left with you, and finding the words to express that, and feeling kind of tired. There's a sense of fatigue too that I sense is like a catalyst to accessing this truth, to pulling out the Excalibur from the stone. So if this is coming into family dynamics, it's like things that, you know, speaking up in your family, or speaking up with your friends, or speaking up in work in regards to like what has become like very, you know, fatiguing to you, and really having to like, I just heard the word mighty mousing, like having to mighty mouse into these like spaces, and like really feeling pulled and feeling just, the Five of Swords and the Three of Swords, like this is like challenging energy, challenging energy, and I sense you showing up for that. You're a very generous person, you know, and you are very much a healer. You're very much like a voice of reason in many ways, and you're also warm, and there's this notion of being the center of conflict, even if it doesn't necessarily involve you totally, like you're part of this family, or you're part of this friend group, or you're part of this workspace, but it's like almost like, okay, done with being the mediator, finding your voice in it, you know, following that truth, laying those boundaries, finding that power and that insight, you know, kind of minding your own business and doing your own thing, and, you know, speaking up for your needs in regards to those truths you're discovering. Very interesting, very cool, and like blast off, like you're onto whole new places, a whole new expansion, and just kind of getting out of the situation. It's all blast off, and it's going out into space in this freedom. So yeah, the Knight of Pentacles, yeah, kind of creating that space to take action towards the things that you're wanting to grow, the things that you're wanting to do, and it's kind of looking right back up to that Ten of Cups, you know, focusing on the relationships and the spaces that you feel safe and held in, and knowing that you are allowed to, you know, walk away from that which is, you know, I heard none of your business. Again, you could be a part of this family, you could be a part of this friend group, or a part of this work community, but there's a notion of being a mediator in some sense, and it just really tiring you out, and, you know, and just finding that voice within, and listening to that voice, listening to that intuitive thought, and following that, and creating that space to explore what it is that you value, what you want to build, the path that is unfolding for you. Okay, so let's do the Knight of Swords. What is going on with the Knight of Swords? A clarifier for the Knight of Swords, please. So the Six of Pentacles. Okay, yeah, some of you really, this is very much like speaking up for your needs, you know, maybe asking for help if you are finding yourself needing help, speaking up for your needs, speaking up for yourself. The Six of Pentacles is a balance energy, is the card of reciprocity. So if you've been pouring and pouring and pouring, and, you know, your energy is being poured right out, asking for that reciprocity, like, hey, this is something that is important to me, and this is kind of what you're needing, and sometimes what you're needing is just like laying down that boundary, like, hey, I can't make it today, or is there another time, or I really care about what you have to say, I'm just, you know, I can't listen fully right now, is there another way? There's all of these different creative ways of expressing boundaries, and, you know, showing up for yourself so that you're receiving the space to recharge. And this is also too, like the Six of Pentacles, like I said, is the card of reciprocity. So, you know, you know, maybe really have been showing up and assisting in this group dynamic, assisting in this, you know, working on these, you know, group dynamics, and really leveling up. Maybe, again, if this is a workspace, really showing up and lending your energy to a common goal, and, you know, finding, yourself. Again, there's something about being in the middle here, being a mediator, being in the middle, and just like coming to an awareness of being like, okay, no more. I have, you know, done everything that I can to mediate this. This is not even like a problem that it really concerns me in a way. And there's a sense of freedom with that, even though it may be uncomfortable to start, you know, articulating your needs or draw those boundaries, or, you know, start to focus on the things that, you know, bring you joy, starting to focus and mind your own business and build what you're building, because there's a lot of exportation of energy here, and I sense it being kind of called back, the power being called back, and that's assisting in the momentum of where it is that you're wanting to go and where it is that you're going. Okay, and the Seven of Wands, what's going on with the Seven of Wands? Whoa, that's like half the deck. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we've got the Chariot and the Queen of Swords. Again, more momentum, more articulation, more truth, more like, again, like it just keeps coming back to, you know, coming to an awareness of, you know, if you do resonate with being the mediator or being in the middle of something and it's starting to really impact you, it's starting to like kind of, you know, really challenge you in some way, and being aware of that and shifting that and calling your power back and speaking up, you know, speaking your needs and laying those boundaries. Again, it's starting to become redundant, so we'll start moving into Oracle now. But yeah, Sagittarius, the Queen of Swords is willing to take in information that is being presented to them, right? But their sword is raised, ready to enact that truth or to lay that boundary, and to, because they know themselves. They know themselves. So I really feel like there is a deeper realm of understanding of who you are, what you want, what you need, what you think, what you know, and you know, your ideas, the vibrancy of your ideas, and keeping those ideas for, not for yourself, like is in a way that like I'm keeping my ideas for myself, but just having the energy to bring those ideas into fruition, and to trust your voice more, to trust yourself, and to articulate your needs, and articulate your boundaries, and articulate to the people in your life as to why those boundaries are laid, and to hold those boundaries. And that is assisting in giving the space for that momentum, giving the space for that change. There's this nature of change, and that is really being accessed through exploring the truth of the matter. And the truth of the matter is like it's almost like this conflict, this pain, this challenge, like enough, and just turning your gaze towards the path that is unfolding for you, and, you know, just naturally spending time with the people, places, and things that support your growth, support you, feed you back, nourish you back. Okay. And almost taking like a different viewpoint on these dynamics with this Eight of Pentacles, on the dynamics that need work. Like there's a nature here of dynamics that need work, and being willing to show up for that in ways that feel right and healthy for you, and being very firm, lovingly firm with that. All right. I think that is enough for the tarot. Let's tune into some Oracle. What's coming up for Sagittarius? So 17, Family of Light. Interesting. Family of Light. Okay, the limits that much of humanity place upon their love, that they will love their own family, country, religion, or community better than they love those on the outside, do not restrain your heart. You are capable of loving humanity, of loving all creation on earth as an extended spiritual family. You will love all as your own. You are meant to belong to a broader family of light. Interesting. So yeah, maybe there's a notion of being coveted and being like, no, like do not covet me. There's a sense of love for these places, but do not covet me. That's something that's really coming in strong. Do not covet me. And limit the amount of love that you have for life and yourself, making sure that you have that love for yourself, for life, and not being covered, not being boxed in, or being like someone, seeing your light and capturing it and being like, oh, you're only allowed to shine for me, and expanding that. Like, no, like there's this expansion, Sagittarius, and I'm proud of you, right? Like, it doesn't make you any less of a generous person. It doesn't make you any less of a person that shows up for the people that you love, right? It just means that there's this notion of not being boxed in. Do not box me in. Okay, so let's do a fractal image, and I'm going to hold it up, and I encourage you to feel into it. Really think, feel into what's coming up for you, what you sense, what you feel, what you see. And please leave me a comment below on what comes up for you, because I really love hearing from you. Okay? All right, what's coming up for Sagittarius? Ooh, okay, another 17. Interesting. So that might be an important number for you in some way. So this is your fractal image. Wow, it's beautiful. There's like the saying, as above, so below, came up for me. There's this notion of like kind of spiraling deep within and then expanding up above. And this is very much red, like root chakra, your connection with life, your purpose and your place in life, your passion, your creativity, and it's kind of coming up like, and so there's this rising kind of awareness I'm sensing here, and I sense that throughout your reading, rising awareness of like, hey, I love you, but do not box me in. And making the appropriate taking the appropriate actions to set the healthy boundaries, to provide yourself the space to expand, to explore, to express. Okay, so what do you feel when it comes to this image? What is coming up for you? And again, 2 17s, so that's interesting. And it, kind of adds up to an 8, which is change, dedication and commitment. So very cool, Sagittarius. If you need to pause the video, feel into it, please do. It was an absolute pleasure chatting with you. It's an absolute pleasure chatting energy. I hope it was of service to you in some way. I hope I was able to come alongside you in your journey. And yes, please don't forget to leave me a comment and let me know what comes up for you when it comes to this fractal energy image. I will see you next month, okay? For your birthday, my darling Sagittarius.